So I found this TV show looking for new things to review, and it boasted a truly impressive score of 3.4 out of 10 on IMDb, so I knew it was going to be fire. And I'm not sure what it was about this show. I think just these religious shows in general are very fun to watch, despite the fact I'm not really religious at all. And this one isn't even a movie, it's sort of a pseudo film where they've got a few episodes of the show, crammed it together, and then made a movie that has 17 musical numbers in it. So let's get into it. This is Donkey Ollie, and I'm in no way here having a go at religion. I'm just going off what I saw on the show. So we open with some information about what's happened earlier, and there's the character called Elizabeth, and they've had children, apparently.
And their marriage has produced two very happy children, Rhea and Jonathan. Follow us again on another...
Anyway, we get a strong proper start to the film when it jumps right into musical number 1 with some musical exposition of all things, telling us that Ollie is always ready to help out by removing splinters.
Ollie's ready to help out. He's not afraid.
While the whole time Ollie is showing off some incredibly unnatural walking animations, he's then joined by his friend Jehu, who's got some equally funky walking animations, and then they meet up with Elizabeth.
Then Rhea, time for dinner. Jehu, Ollie, hello! I hope you can stay for dinner. We have some fine carrots.
And you might have noticed from that clip that the voice acting is absolutely hideous. Anyway, Elizabeth is like,
"The children are missing."
And then the husband turns up and he's like, no,
all the children are missing.
And we soon find out they've been kidnapped by these two. One of them, I don't remember his name, and the other one's a slave trader called Lucius.
There's a large group of children playing over by the temple playground. Should make about 80 if we manage to get them.
Now, they say 80, but we see them carrying the children in these baskets. It's four on each camel. There's 12 camels, and then suddenly 7. So that's 48 or 28. And then we see 2 of them standing there, and then 13, and then 14, and then 13 again, and then 23. There's literally no consistency in these shots. And on top of that, they start off with 4 slave traders, and then 2 of them vanish when they arrive at the palace. Like, I don't know what happened to them. The consistency here is unbelievable. So there's no actual suspenseful build-up to the children being taken. Lucius is just like,
Oi, oi, go kidnap them.
then his mate's like,
Kaden fam, will do.
and then they just kidnap them, and then we're very unkindly treated to the second musical number of this film.
Ho, 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 to Egypt we will go. Ho, ho.
There's one line, it serves as very forced exposition as to where they're going, but don't worry, there's only 15 more. So one of the children prays so hard that the quality of his voice acting audibly drops.
Please help us get out of here and back to Mom and Dad. We promise we won't wander away from home again.
And because they pray, they're not allowed water the next day. And this leads to one of the stupidest things I've ever seen in a film. Because when the other children find out they're not allowed water, they all spit theirs out in defiance and say, if they're not allowed water, we won't have them either.
They're not getting any water, then I'm not taking any either.
But this comes after the fact that they've all been given water. So it means what happened is they kept their mouths full of water, all apparently 80 of them, just in case something like this happened. Right, okay, that makes sense. So the fact they're all refusing to drink water allows them to summon the third musical number about rain. And after some fearsome motion blur, they do manage to summon a rainstorm. Now at this point, we catch up with Ollie, Jehu, and a talking crow called Rupert. They've found out the children are going to become slaves, and they're trying to come up with a rescue plan.
That's awful risky. We're all liable to end up in the stew.
I don't wanna be your meal. Like Gordon Blue, I feel I just wanna stay alive.
You didn't see it coming, did you? Neither did I the first time I saw it. They're like sneaky musical numbers, and half the time they don't need to be there. They just appear, and you just never see them coming. So then we catch up with the children arriving at Ramses' palace, and this fourth song, I don't really know what to say about it. The scene itself is about him hitting a child. Just have a listen.
Listen to my advice. Don't touch little girls, or you'll be in danger.
I'm not going anywhere near that. And then I shit you not, we get the fifth musical number 2 minutes after this one. It's about this guy who was taken when he was a child.
How can you go home when you don't know where it is?
Okay, very sad, but did you have to sing it? No, not really. So then Ollie, Joe and Rupert arrive at the palace and they're like, wow, I wish I had a plan before strolling up to this guy's house. And then the Pharaoh's son shows up and instead of asking him about the rescue, Ollie has something to say about the prince's horse and how he's overworking it.
If you continue to run this poor horse like that, he'll be lame.
I mean, it looks fine to me.
I can talk and I can sing.
Are you taking the piss?
What, are you serious? Why? Why does that have to be there?
The most anger-inducing part of this song is the justification for it was this.
That horse is sure running fast.
As if that tiny section of dialogue was supposed to let the viewers know, oh yes, here comes another terrible musical number. And why does it sound like they used PowerPoint to edit the sound?
How did you do that? Do what? You know, talk silly.
Like this whack on the fade in and you're good to go. So the prince heals his horse with a magical blue rag. But they finally ask the prince the important stuff. They're like, okay, hey pal, our niece and nephew have gone missing. They've been stolen by your dad and we're here to rob from him, the pharaoh. And he's like, oh, that's cool. I'll help you betray my dad, no problem. Just stay in my summer house along the shore, win this chariot race, and then you can ask my dad for anything. Also, can I take your talking donkey to meet my dad? But they now finally have a plan, which is for him to train as a chariot racer and win the chariot race, which means one thing. That's right, a musical montage. Yeah, we actually get 2 of those, and they're both very 80s for some reason. And then we meet some of the prince's family and get another musical number about how he met Jesus, well, how Ollie met Jesus.
I was there when they took him to the cross.
Now, in this one's defense, it does make sense as a musical number. The one literally 30 seconds later absolutely doesn't. And why does the sound quality for the musicals sound so fucking awful? Given the sheer amount of musical bombardment in this movie, you would think more effort would have gone into making the musical sound better. But no, it sounds like they're singing them out of those stupid fucking echo mics you had when you were 5. Lucius then sings musical number 10.
I'm not known for kindness. I'm a nightmare come alive.
And this one sort of makes sense as a musical number as well. Then we cut to the prince showing his dad, Ollie and Rupert, and how they can talk. And we get 4 musical numbers in 15 minutes. So number 11 is sung by Ollie and how he should let the slaves go.
Let them go, Mr. Pharaoh. Let them go, let them go.
And surprisingly enough, when he asks a man who thinks he's the literal link between divine gods and mortals, he says, hey mate, how about no? Then he breaks into musical number 12 about how he won't let them go. He demands they're arrested, then the bird is like, I can fly, and I'm a free bird, and then starts singing about that. And then he's capped by an arrow by one of the guards, and then he lands outside on a stone tablet, and this girl is like, that looks a bit painful, here's some mud, and then she sings musical number 14. So we get a really 80s chariot racing montage again. And the film has the audacity to introduce a love interest an hour into the movie with 10 minutes left to go.
Quick they may be, but who knows how they'll manage under the care of a brute such as Lucius? Who is this young maiden with you?
And then Ollie runs into 3 horses that belong to Lucius, and one of them sounds like a very, very bad Richard Nixon impression.
It's quite hard being a racehorse, running around the track, especially with some monkey whipping at your back.
So of course he wins the chariot race, and then the movie ends with a musical number about being free, and that's the end of the film. So I'm going to cover the elephant in the room first. The sheer amount of musical numbers in this is insane. You could remove most of them and it would improve the whole movie. You don't need a musical number about how the talking crow can rest off his injuries. You don't need a musical number about how the prince's horse is going to become lame because he's overworking it. There's a song every 4 to 5 minutes, and most of the time it's just not needed. Secondly, the quality of the actual sound is terrible. The voice acting is catastrophic, and it audibly dips in quality. The songs actually sound the worst of all the audio, which is surprising, and the lip sync never matches, mainly because the animation quality won't allow for something so complex. As for the characters, Donkey Ollie doesn't really do anything. Jehu is the one who does the most and is the reason they're saved. Ollie and Rupert are very minor characters in the plot. In this one at least, there are 2 other films, and I might cover them, I'm not sure. As for the designs, they look horrible, and the way they walk, they have like the flexibility of a brick. It was clearly made on a super low budget, so I can't really lay into the quality, but it does look hideous. Overall though, all the bad things combine into this insane show, where I was actually finding fun in the fact where I could guess when the next sneaky ninja musical number was going to show up. It actually happened 3 times when I genuinely didn't see it coming, and it took me off guard. Anyway, I'd give it a not quite Bible Man out of 10, because it was quite entertaining, but not quite as entertaining as Bible Man. They're all free on YouTube, so you may as well just check them out. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a comment, like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.